So you know how to define the limit to their function. So limit to f of x as x tends to a is function of a. So what does it means? You know, here when you are substituting their x is a, they're in function, so get function of a. Means what? X will approach towards a. It means that x will accept a but takes their values from left or right to a. And these values will be continuous. These values will be continuous. So limit to function of x as x tends to a is function of a. So here in limit, there are some results. So I will state here. So what are the results? Those are here. So first result state that limit to small difference of function. Sum or difference of function, that is f of x plus minus g of x as x tends to a. So how to apply their limit to their sum or difference of function is nothing but sum or difference of their limit. That is limit to f of x as x tends to e plus minus limit to g of x as x tends to a. So what does it means? Limit to sum or difference of function is nothing but sum or difference of their limits. So this was first result in their limit. Now second is that limit to product of function, that is f of x into g of x is there. There is product of function. So if there are number of functions which are in the form of products, so we can apply their limit to their function, to every function is there. So that is limit to f of x as x tends to a into limit to g of x as x tends to a is there. Yes. So it means that their limit of product is equal to product of their limits. Now the next one is what? Limit to their division of functions, or yes, quotient of their function, f of x divided by g of x as x tends to a. So you get it? Yes, it is nothing but division of their limits. So limit to f of x as x tends to e upon limit to g of x as x tends to e is there. Okay, x tends to e. Now next one is that if there is constant which is in the form of a scalar multiple to their function, so in that case how to apply their limit? So limit to k into function of x, where there is function, we can apply the limit. So k is constant, take it outside, into limit to f of x as x tends to e. So these are 4 more results or standard results here in limits. So one more is there. There are some simple results which will be useful, wherein the problem on limit. So what are the results? So these results I will set here. Limit to sin x by x as x tends to 0, it is 1. Yes. Now then next one is what? Limit to tan x upon x as x tends to 0, it is 1 also. The next one is what? Yes, limit to, if there is inverse trigonometric function and when you are applying the limit, you will get the same. So what is that? Limit to sine inverse of x upon x as x tends to 0, it is also 1. So I will yes set here some results which are useful to solve their examples in limit. मतलब जो results आप लोगों को यूजफुल है in their solving the examples there on limits. So these results I will state. So limit to tan inverse of x upon x, as x tends to 0, it is also 1. The next one is limit to 1 plus x raised to 1 by x, as x tends to 0, it is exponentially. It is exponential e. So what is that next? Limit to limit as x tends to infinity to 1 plus 1 by x raised to x, that is equals to exponential also. See here the next, that is limit as x tends to a to x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a. So you get their limits, that is n into a raised to n minus 1, n into a raised to n minus 1. So these are the some results which are useful. Now, if you are getting the limits in the form that is in indeterminate form, like 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity, 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity is there. Now you come in their first result, when you apply their limit as x tends to 0, तो आप लोगों को क्या मिलेगा? Sin 0 0 होता है upon 0. Yes, we'll see here what magic is there. Simple to get there 1 by, yes, one of the rule that is called L'Hospital rule. Okay, so L'Hospital rule said that when limit of function is in the form 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity, L'Hospital. Yes, L'Hospital rule. Rule said that when limit of function is in the form 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity. Yes, अगर फंक्शन का लिमिट इसी फॉर्म में मिल रहा है f of x by g of x, as x tends to whatever the limit is there, that doesn't matter, but if you are getting their limit in the form 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity मिल रहा है देखो, so in that case need to find the derivative of numerator as well as denominator, means need to find the function in numerator as well as in denominator, their differential till finite forms, means to find their derivative of function in numerator as well as denominator finite times till their finite limit. Am I right? So limit to f of x by g of x as x tends to a. If in one steps, if you are getting their finite limit, you consider that same. And suppose in their second stage, if limit is in similar form, that is 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity, so in that case, you have to apply that same, that is L'Hospital rule. So that rule is applied only at finite limit. Am I right? Only up to finite limit. So in first step, if you are getting their limit in the form 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity, you have to apply that same, means taking derivative of numerator as well as denominator till finite form. तो रूल क्या स्टेट करता है? अगर लिमिट ऑफ फंक्शन इज इन द फॉर्म 0 by 0 और infinity by infinity मिल रहा है, तभी क्या करना? टेकिंग डेरिवेटिव ऑफ न्यूमरेटर एज वेल एज डिनोमिनेटर टिल फाइनाइट फॉर्म. जब तक आप लोगों को फाइनाइट फॉर्म ये लिमिट नहीं मिलता है, तब तक ये आप लोगों को L'Hospital रूल अप्लाई. यहाँ पे देखो सिंपल एग्जांपल्स दैट आई एम टेकिंग फ्रॉम देयर द स्टैंडर्ड रिजल्ट. यहाँ पे देखो लिमिट sin x by x as x tends to 0. When we are applying the limit as x tends to 0, what is that? Sin 0 upon 0 is there. Do you know their value of sin 0? It is 0. That is 0 by 0. So we'll say the limit is 1. How there is 1? Actual limit is in the form 0 by 0 is there. Am I right? And here in result there is 1. How there is 1 and then 0 by 0? So 0 by 0 have not a proper meaning. Am I right? So how we get that proper meaning? So 0 by 0 is not 0 or there any finite value. It is indeterminate. So we cannot determine their value. Am I right? So If there is infinity by infinity, it is also indeterminate form. So there are number of indeterminate form. Like अगर यहाँ पे ये भी indeterminate form होते हैं देखो, तो take here derivative of sin x means to apply the real hospital rule. So how to apply a real hospital rule on this function when their limit is in the form 0 by 0? अगर limit इसी form में मिल रहा है, that is in the form of 0 by 0, taking derivative of numerator as well as denominator separately. मतलब ये आप कैसे लिखना? Derivative of sin x upon derivative of x with respect to x. Okay, so that is limit as x tends to 0 to derivative of sin it is cos x, and then derivative of x with respect to x it is 1, and after that you can apply the limit to their function. अगर इसी फंक्शन के ऊपर आप लिमिट अप्लाई कर रहे हैं x टेंड्स टू 0, तो cos of 0 आप लोगों को क्या मिलेगा? It is 1. Hence the limit to sin x by x as x tends to 0 is 1. तो आप लोगों को ये लिमिट कैसे लिखा है आप लोगों ने? sin x by x as x tends to 0 is 1. You go in their other result also, that is in tan x by x. So if you are applying the limit as x tends to 0, in that case you will get their same. तो सेकेंड रिजल्ट में भी आपको सेम लिमिट मिलेगा, दैट इज हियर, यू नो, दैट इज 0 by 0 इज देयर. देखो tan 0 0 x 0 0 means 0 by 0 ना. Will you say it is finite limit? No, it is indeterminate. So how to get their finite limit? Yes, by L'Hospital rule, means taking derivative of numerator as well as denominator. So derivative of tan x is what? Sec square x, and upon derivative of x is what? 1. And on their sec square x, when you apply the limit as x tends to 0, sec 0 it is 1, 1 square is 1. Hence their limit to sin x, tan x by x as x tends to 0 it is 1. This is possible only by L'Hospital rule. Okay, तो L'Hospital rule से ये आप लोगों को लिमिट मिलेगा. So here next result, there in limit, that is limit to e raised to x minus 1 upon x as x tends to 0, x tends to 0 s, that is equals to log a, that is equals to log of a. So in this case you observe, when you apply the limit as x tends to 0 in this function, so what will be there? So a raised to 0 it is 1, 1 minus 1 0 upon 0, so 0 by 0. यहाँ पे फिर आप लोगों को लिमिट कैसे मिल रहा है? 0 by 0 इसी फॉर्म में. So will you say it is finite limit? No, it is indeterminate, and now we can get their finite limit by L'Hospital rule. So once again you can apply the rules. Are you getting everybody? Their proper application of L'Hospital rule. So this rule will apply only at the limit of function is in the form 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity. इसी फॉर्म में अगर लिमिट हो रहा है तो उसके ऊपर आप क्या कर सकते हैं? L'Hospital rule अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. So keep in mind the standard result under the expression, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and these are also, yes, simple results which are in their limits. Okay. We'll see their example. They're in limit. Wait. Limit as x tends to 0 to. Find limit as x tends to 0 to root of 4 plus 5x upon x minus 2 is there. This is what simple function is there. This is what simple function. So be carefully you understand their meaning of function. It means that root of 4 plus 5x minus 2, this is what numerator is there, upon whole divided by x is there. Okay. Now in this function, when you are applying the limit as x tends to 0, what it becomes? Yes, let L is equals. So in their exam or in their coming CET exam, they will ask such a kind of examples with 4 more options. You have to select here correct options. Okay. After solving the examples. Okay. So we can say it is L, that is limit as x tends to 0 root of 4 plus 5x. How to solve such a kind of examples in their limit? First of all, need to apply the limit as x tends to 0. अगर आप पहली बार यहाँ पे limit x tends to 0 apply कर रहे तो क्या होगा देखो. What it becomes by applying the limit as x tends to 0 to their function. Now in numerator as well as in denominator. तो numerator में भी आप limit apply करना है. x tends to 0 मतलब यहाँ पे क्या होगा 5 into 0 0 0 plus 4 4 means root of 4 is there as correct. Minus 2 is there upon x क्या होता है 0 होता है देखो. Root of 4 it is 2. 2 minus 2 is there. ये क्या मिलता है आप लोगों को 2 minus 2 upon 0 and 2 minus 2 it is 0 upon 0 is there. Means we are getting the limit in the form 0 by 0, no? So it's not a proper form. It is called indeterminate form. So there are so many indeterminate form. 1 raised to infinity, infinity minus infinity, yes, infinity raised to infinity, yes. So these are the indeterminate form, or 0 by 0, then infinity by infinity. So these are various kind of indeterminate forms. But on which type of indeterminate form we can apply the L'Hospital rule? That is the main issue. Yes. So when the limit of function is in the form like 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity, in that case we are using the L'Hospital. So what actual meaning of the L'Hospital rule? Means taking derivative of numerator as well as denominator separately till finite form. जब तक आप लोगों को finite form नहीं मिल रहा है तब तक यहाँ पे आप लोगों को L'Hospital rule अप्लाई करना है. तो how to apply that L'Hospital? X tends to 0. मतलब यहाँ पे taking derivative of numerator as well as denominator separately. देखो root of 4 plus 5x minus 2. Everybody should come on their the results in differential upon d by dx of x is there. D by dx of x. That is limit as x tends to 0 to. I have taken here one more extra step to get their clear understanding. Otherwise, you can apply there directly because time is money in their exam. So d by dx of this function, that is need to find the derivative of root first. And what is the derivative of root? Beside the steps, I will state here the result of root. D by dx of root of x. It is 1 by twice into root of x is there. And next to find the root is function and the derivative is what 1 by twice into root of x. And next to find the derivative of x with respect to x, it is 1. तो ये रिजल्ट आप लोगों को पहले अंडरस्टैंड होना चाहिए कि जिस रिजल्ट से क्या कर सकते हैं ये लिमिट फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं. तो d by dx of their root and what is their derivative? It is 1 by twice into पहले root का derivative लेना because root is function. So root of 4 plus 5x. Okay, into it's not completed. We have not taken their derivative of term in function. So into derivative of term with respect to x, it is 5. Okay, and derivative of 4 it is 0 minus derivative of 2 with respect to x, it is 0 because 2 is constant upon derivative of x with respect to x, it is 1. Now here in remaining function, you apply the limit as x tends to 0. So when you are applying the limit to the remaining function as x tends to 0, so it will be there. So 5 upon where there is term of x, you can apply the limit as x tends to 0. So 2 into root of x is 0 means what 5 into 0 0 0 plus 4 4 is there. So root of 4 is there. So there is what root of 4. Now again on simplifying, so what will be there? So 5 upon root of 4 is, yes, root of 4 is 2. 2 into 2 it is 4. So 5 by 4 it is finite limit of their function. But in their first step, when you are applying the limit as x tends to 0, so what will be there? 0 by 0. Will you say it is finite limit? No, it's not a finite limit. And if you are getting the limit in the form 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity, तभी आप लोगों को क्या करना है? L'Hospital rule apply. L hospital rule. Are you getting everybody? Suppose in their first step to their function when you apply the limit as extends to 0, अगर यहाँ पे लिमिट 0/0 मिल रहा है तो फिर से आप लोगों को यहाँ पे L hospital rule अप्लाई करना, need to apply the L hospital rule till finite form. Yes, in third steps their limit is in the form 0/0, you have to apply that L hospital. So need to apply that L hospital rule till finite, yes, value of their function. Okay, see here the next example therein, limit. Limit as x tends to pi/4 to 1 minus tan of x upon 2 minus sec square x. That is, yes. Consider here the limit first. So let L is, or let the limit as x tends to pi/4 to 1 minus tan x upon 2 minus sec square x. So when you are applying the limit as x tends to pi/4, so what it happens? See here. So what is that proper limit as x tends to pi/4? So 1 minus tan of pi/4 upon 2 minus sec square pi/4. Do you know here value of tan pi/4? Tan pi/4 is 1, no? Upon 2 minus sec pi/4. Sec of pi/4. Sec means what? 1 by cos pi/4. So cos pi/4 की वैल्यू क्या होती है? 1/√2. मीन्स sec pi/4 की वैल्यू क्या होती है? √2 होगी. Yes, cos pi/4 उनकी वैल्यू क्या होती है? That is equals to 1/√2. So there is relation of cos with sec. So reciprocal of cos is called the sec. So sec pi/4 is 1/√2 means √2 is there. Right? So what actually value? What value of their function you want? Sec square pi/4 मतलब square करना. Sec square pi/4. It means that squaring on both the sides. So √2 whole square is there. That is equals to 2. So sec square pi/4 की value 2 मिली. So 1 minus 1 it is 0. Here in denominator there is also 0. So limit of the function is in the form 0/0 or yes 0/0 is there, means what? It is indeterminate. It doesn't have a specific mean. And how to get that specific mean? That is to get the finite value by L hospital. तो यहाँ पे आप लोगों को L hospital rule apply करना. So by L hospital rule. Those questions are there in CET exam. Hardly within 3 or 4 steps you will get their solution. They will not ask their lengthy or critical examples with their 4 more options. So they will ask very simple examples. Yes, those are here. But before that, everybody should have command on their basic results. So by L hospital rule. तो L hospital rule से ये आप प्रॉब्लम कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं? Limit as x tends to pi/4 to taking derivative of numerator. So one more here in this case I will write d/dx of 1 minus tan of x. What is that actual meaning of L hospital rule? So that is d/dx of 2 minus sec square x. That is limit as x tends to pi/4 to. ये लिमिट आप कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते? तो पहले आप लोगों को डेरिवेटिव लेना है. डेरिवेटिव ऑफ 1 it is 0 s minus डेरिवेटिव ऑफ tan of s, their derivative of tan is sec square x upon derivative of 2 it is 0 2 का डेरिवेटिव 0 होता है. Yes. And next to find their derivative of power, that is 2 into sec x raised to 1. And next to find their derivative of base. पहले यहाँ पे आप लोगों ने पावर का डेरिवेटिव लिया है, तो 2 into sec x raised to 2 minus 1. And next to find the derivative of sec, and derivative of sec is what? Sec x into tan x is there. Sec x into tan x. Once again you can simplify. So limit as x tends to pi by 4 to minus sec square x upon minus, and this minus get cancelled, there remain plus. Okay, plus will be there. So minus minus plus is there. So 2 into sec, that is sec square x into tan x. तो यहाँ पे sec square x cancel होता है. And on the remaining function, when you apply the limit as x tends to pi by 4, so what will be there? 1 by 2 into tan of pi by 4 is. And what is that value of tan pi by 4? It is 1. So their limit will be 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is finite limit. So I will discuss with you some results or some examples which are connected with their limits. And these examples or similar type of examples will be there in exam. Okay. So here the next, their third example on their limit. Here I am taking the variety of examples there on limits. Means all these examples are not correlated, that is related to each other. Limit as x tends to pi by 3 to tan square theta minus 3. Tan square theta is there. It's not 8. Upon sec cube theta minus 8. So how to get their solution of this problem? So limit, if you are applying the limit as theta tends to, not x tends to, theta tends to pi by 3, because theta acts as a variable in this function. Okay, so theta will be there. So how to get their limit of this function? So when you are applying the limit as, yes, here in this example I will apply their limit directly as theta tends to pi by 3. So when you are applying the limit as theta tends to pi by 3, so what will be there? Tan pi by 3 whole square is there minus 3 upon sec pi by 3 whole raised to 3 is there, because there is cubic power, am I right? Minus 8. And you have their standard values of their trigonometric functions. Okay, tan pi by 3 means tan 60 is there. Tan 60 का value क्या होता है? Root of 3. So root of 3 square is there. Minus 3 upon sec pi by 3 means what? Sec 60, and sec is related with cos, and cos 60 is what? Half. तो sec pi by 3 की value क्या हो सकती है? 2 होती है. You know, cos of pi by 3 मतलब cos 60 की value 1 by 2 होती है. तो sec pi by 3 की value क्या हो सकती है? That is reciprocal of cos, that is 2, no? So 2 is there, means 2 cube minus 8. So after solving, what will be there? Root of 3 square, it is 3. 3 minus 3 upon 2 cube is 8. 8 minus 8. And what is that resulting? It is 0 by 0. Will you say it is finite limit? No. ये भी finite limit आप लोगों को नहीं मिल रही. तो यहाँ पे आप क्या कर सकते हैं? Applying their L'Hospital rule. So this is simple way to apply their L'Hospital rule. Instead of using their standard result, they are related with their tan or tan inverse, sine inverse. Okay. So need to apply here L'Hospital means to find their derivative. You have to change every time with respect to their variable. In last problems we have studied to get their derivative with respect to x as a variable, but in this function there is theta as a variable. That change is here. So that is d by d theta of tan square theta minus 3 upon d by d theta of sec cube theta minus 8. Okay, and how to get their differential? Yes, that is equals to limit as theta tends to pi by 3. So derivative of tan square is on 2 into पहले power का derivative लेना. So every time you should keep in mind you have to take their derivative of power. पहले आप लोगों को power का derivative लेना. Power का derivative क्या होगा? 2 into tan theta. It's a derivative of power means 2 into tan theta raised to 2 minus 1 मतलब tan theta रहेगा. And next to find here a derivative of base, and which is that base in this function tan theta. तो tan theta का derivative क्या होता है? Sec square theta होता है. And once again to find the derivative of theta with respect to theta, it is 1. Okay. So this was the proper way to get the differential when there is any kind of function. Okay. Minus 3 मतलब derivative of constant क्या होगा? 0 होता है. This is what 0 upon so what about the derivative of sec cube theta? पहले sec cube मतलब cube का मतलब power का derivative लेना. So 3 into sec square theta. Okay. And what is that next? Derivative of sec. We have taken here derivative of power first. So that is 3 into sec raised to 3 minus 1 means 2 theta. And next find there derivative of sec. So sec is one more function which is in place of base. It means that need to find the derivative of base function. तो base function का derivative क्या होगा? Sec का derivative sec theta into tan theta minus derivative of constant, it is 0 to 0. Now next you can simplify here. So how you simplify? Minus 0 means get that same term. Here minus 0 means get that same term. So sec square theta and sec square theta get cancelled. Tan theta and tan theta get cancelled. So what is that remaining? So here in remaining function, when you apply the limit as theta tends to 0, so what value will be there? So in numerator there remain only 2. There remain only 2. So 2 upon कैसे लेंगे? 2 upon 3 times into. So the remaining is what? Sec theta, and when you put the limit as theta is pi by 3, so sec pi by 3. And already you are known their value of sec pi by 3 is 2. It is 2 means 2 upon 2 into, yes, 3 into 2 is there. So 3 into 2 means 2 to get cancelled, it is 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 is again a finite limit. So at initial stage, when you apply the limit at initial stage, their value will be 0 by 0. But after applying L'Hospital rule, their value will be in 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 defines the finite value of their function. So here in limit, we require always their finite value. Okay, and this is what finite limit. Let us see here the next example. Limit as x tends to 0 to 6 raised to x minus 3 raised to x minus 2 raised to x plus 1 upon x square is there. Okay. So here in this function, when you apply the limit as x tends to 0, अगर यहाँ पे आप लिमिट डायरेक्टली अप्लाई कर रहे हैं x tends to 0, so x tends to 0 मतलब 6 raised to 0 it is 1. Okay, 3 raised to 0 it is also 1. Okay, and 2 raised to 0 it is also 1 plus 1 upon x is 0. I have written here the limit. I have written here the value of limit directly. So what is sum of them? Minus 2 plus 2 it is 0 means what? 0 by 0. यहाँ पे आप लोगों को लिमिट 0 by 0 मिल रहे हैं. Yes, अगर ये लिमिट 0 by 0 मिल रहा है, so can you apply the L'Hospital rule? Yes, we can. But instead of that, we have some results. And what are the results? Within 2 or 3 steps, you will get their solution. In this case, I have to solve this problem by the results from limit, not to by L'Hospital rule. Either you can get their limits by L'Hospital rule when limit is in the form 0 by 0, or by using their standard result. But in this case, I have to solve this example by they're applying the standard result in limit. मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम एक स्टैंडर्ड रिजल्ट से सॉल्व of this limit by L'Hospital, but along with that, parallelly, everyone should know how to get their finite limit, how to get their value of finite limit by their standard result. Standard result कैसे होते हैं? Limit as x tends to 0 to, okay? 6, you have to write there in the form of 3 into 2. So 3 into 2, not 3.2 is there. 3 into 2 is there. Minus 3 raised to x minus 2 raised to x plus 1 upon x square is there. Okay? That is equals to limit as x tends to 0 to. How you expand it? By index law. You know their index laws. Yes, every time you should have their basic knowledge, that is fundamentals, those you have studied from first standard up to their 12th standard. So all these things which are connected with their subject of mathematics, am I right? All are important. Otherwise, you will say their knowledge you have taken from their 11th standard and also from 12th standard. This is very important. No. So those kind of knowledge you have taken from first standard up to 12th standard related with their subject of mathematics, that is most important. Okay. So a into b raised to m. How to expand it? By index law, a raised to m into b raised to. ये रिजल्ट यहाँ पे आप लोगों को अप्लाई करना है. तो आप कैसे अप्लाई कर सकते हैं? 3 into 2 is there, means what? 3 raised to x into 2 raised to x minus 3 raised to x minus 2 raised to x plus 1 upon x square. Okay? That is limit as x tends to 0 to. So here in this case, you consider their first two terms. अगर पहले दो terms consider करें, which is that common between these two, 3 raised to x. 3 raised to x, ये term आप लोगों को common मिल सकती है. तो common लेना. So 3 raised to x into 2 raised to x. So what will be remain here? Minus 1. From their last two terms, you have to take their minus as common so that you will get their term which is similar to that of first. इसी जैसे आप लोगों को टर्म मिलेगा, लेकिन यहाँ पे आप लोगों को माइनस कॉमन लेना है. सो माइनस टाइम्स इंटू 2 raised to x माइनस, ये आप लोगों को मिलेगा. So minus 2 raised to x and minus plus 1 is there upon x square. Upon x square. Now here in numerator, which is that common factor, 2 raised to x minus 1, ये common factor होता है. Take it outside. Limit as x tends to 0 to 2 raised to x minus 1, it is common. And what is that remaining? 3 raised to x minus 1 upon x square. Upon x square. Okay. So we have one of the result in their limit, and that everyone have studied, or already I have shared with you. So what is that? Yes, limit to a raised to x minus 1 by x as x tends to 0, it is log a. ये result आप apply कर सकते. So in this case, when you apply the limit as x tends to 0, so a raised to 0, it is 1. 1 minus 1, 0 upon 0. तो value आप लोगों को log a मिल रही है. How you are getting their log a? This is possible only by L'Hospital rule. क्योंकि यहाँ पे limit क्या होता है? 0 by 0. So it means that to find here derivative of numerator function as well as denominator function separately. मतलब derivative of a raised to x क्या हो सकता है? a raised to x into log a, and derivative of minus 1 is 0 upon derivative of x क्या होगा? देखो अगर आपको चाहिए तो, if you want here that limit log of a, yes, how it is, you know, I will simplify here in simple way. So a raised to x minus 1 by x. अगर यहाँ पे लिमिट अप्लाई करोगे तो a raised to 0 it is 1 minus 1 upon 0 that is 0 by 0. So how there is log a? You will say here. So limit as x tends to 0 to taking derivative of numerator, and what is derivative of a raised to x? So a raised to x into log a minus 1. तो 1 एक कांस्टेंट होता है, उनका डेरिवेटिव 0 होगा अपॉन डेरिवेटिव ऑफ x is 1. And when you are applying the limit as x tends to 0 to their function, so in this case need to apply the limit to their function only, that is to their variable quantity, not on their constant log of a. So when you substitute their x is 0, a raised to 0 is 1, not to substitute their in limit log a because log a is constant. So what quantity will remain here? Log a. ये आप लोगों को मिलेगा. Yes. So here we have to use this result. And how to apply this result? Yes, limit as x tends to 0 to 2 raised to x minus 1 upon x into limit 3 raised to x minus 1 upon x as x tends to 0. I have written here the limits directly, the result of limit directly. And which is that result in their limit? Limit of product is equals to product of their limits. Means what? You can split up there into two more functions. 2 raised to x minus 1 upon x and 3 raised to x minus 1 upon x. And in their product of functions, we can apply their limit individually, that is separate. And what is that limit? It is log 2. E limit क्या होगा? Log 2 होता है. And what is limit for next? This is what? Log of 3 is there. And log 2 and log 3, so what is that product? It is same, log of 2 into log of 3. We cannot add or we cannot subtract or we cannot multiply or divide here. So these quantities keep as it is. So log 2 into log 3. And this was numerical value. Okay. And yes, it's a finite limit of their function. It's a finite limit of their function. Okay. We'll see their next example there on limit. Limit 2 as x tends to 3 to x minus 3 upon root of x minus 2 minus root of 4 minus x. So actually I am taking here the problems which are not connected to each other. They are independent. They are not dependent. Means in every limit, functions are different. Okay. Now in this case, when you apply the limit as x tends to 3, so which value will be there? So at initial stage, when you apply the limit as x tends to 3, so 3 minus 3 क्या होगा? 3 minus 3 upon root of 3 minus 2, it is 1, means root of 1 is there, minus root of 4 minus 3. So in place of x, when you substitute the limit as x tends to 3, so 4 minus 3 it is 1. And what is that sum? 3 minus 3 it is 0 upon root of 1 minus root of 1 it is 0. Now in this case, we can get their finite limit either by applying L'Hospital rule or by using the rationalization. Right? So instead of rationalization, in this function or in this limit, when you are using their L'Hospital rule, means taking derivative of numerator as well as denominator separately, you will get their finite limit. In one attempt, you are not getting the limit in the finite form. Suppose their limit is in the form like 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity. So again, you have to apply that L'Hospital rule. So need to apply that L'Hospital rule till finite limit to their function. When their limit in every step is in the form like 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity is there. So d by dx of x minus 2 minus root of 4 minus x. Okay, see here. So what is derivative of x minus 3? Need to find the derivative of x first, and it is 1, and derivative of constant it is 0. So limit as x tends to 3 to, this will get by L'Hospital rule. Okay, so derivative of x with respect to x, it is 1, and derivative of constant, it is 0. So here in this case, there is derivative of subtraction is nothing but subtraction of their differential. You know the result of differential. So d by dx of root is there. What is the derivative of root? Yes, 1 by twice into root of x minus 2. So this is derivative of root. And next to find the derivative of root, term in root with respect to x. पहले root का derivative 1 by twice into root of x minus 2 लिखा. Into derivative of term in root with respect to x, मतलब x का derivative 1 and 2 का क्या होता है 0 होता है. So 1 will be there. Is there need to write there 1? No, not necessary to write there 1. So one more is there. There is a root function. And what is the derivative? 1 by twice into. Correct? Root of 4 minus x. And then next to find the derivative of term in root with respect to x. तो 4 का डेरिवेटिव 0 होता है. Minus x मतलब their derivative is what? Minus 1. So be carefully to find their derivative, or you write there, or if you write their derivative of root as 1 by twice into root only, and not to find here the derivative of 4 minus x, you will get the wrong solution. Okay. Now here in remaining limit, or here in remaining function, when you apply the limit as x tends to 0, x tends to 3, so what will be there? Yes, in this case you can apply the limit as x tends to 3. So 3 minus 2, 1 is there, and root of 1 is 1. So 1 upon 1 by 2. ये 1 upon I देखो, 1 upon is there. And minus and 0 minus 1, it is minus 1. So minus minus plus is there. So plus 1 by 2 times into root of 4 minus x. X is or 3. 4 minus 3, it is 1. Means get there 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. And half plus half, it is full. No? It is full. Means what? 1 by 1. Means get 1. So 1 is the finite limit to their function as x tends to 3. So at initial stage, you are getting the limit in the form 0 by 0, that is indeterminate. अगर फर्स्ट स्टेप में आप लोगों को लिमिट 0 by 0 या इंफिनिटी बाय इंफिनिटी मिल रहा है, तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं? ये हॉस्पिटल रूल अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. सो इट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, so here the next example, there in limit as x tends to 0 to 1 minus cos of 2x into sin 5x upon x square into sin 3x. So when this kind of function is there and as x tends to 0, so what limit will be there? Yes, that is, see here, when you apply the limit as x tends to 0, so cos of 0 na, x is 0, cos 0 की value क्या होती है? 1 होती है. So 1 minus 1, 0. So I will write here the limit roughly. 0 into 5 0, sin 0 की value क्या होती है? 0 upon x is 0, 0 square 0 into finite value, it is 0. No? So 1 minus 1, 0 into 0, that is 0 by 0 is there. So once again we are getting the limit in the form 0 by 0. But in this case, can you apply the real hospital rule? If you are applying the real hospital rule, the process will end, because in numerator or in denominator there are number of functions. If there in numerator or denominator single functions are there, we can apply the real hospital rule. Or their functions which are in the form of addition or subtraction, in numerator or denominator, we can use the real hospital rule. So this was simple trick. But in this case, if you are applying the real hospital rule, process will end to get their finite solution. So instead of that, you can use their some standard result which are from their limits. Okay, see here. So how to apply the limit as x tends to 0 to their function? So you know the result of 1 minus cos 2x, and what is that 1 minus cos 2x is 2 sin square x. 1 plus cos 2x, it is 2 sin square x. 2 cos square x is there. So 1 minus cos of 2x is what? 2 sin square x. If possible, you have to convert their subtraction or addition functions in the form of single term or in the form of product. तो यहाँ पे आप लोगों को 1 minus cos 2x की वैल्यू 2 sin square x, this was standard result, okay, into sin 5x into sin 5x upon x square into sin 3x, and we have the result in limit. So which is that result? Limit as x tends to 0 to sin x upon x, it is 1. अगर यहाँ पे kx होता है kx upon kx, limit to sin kx upon kx as x tends to 0, it is 1. If angle and their denominator term is same, and when you apply the limit as x tends to 0, it is also okay. तो यहाँ पे आप सेम लिमिट का फॉर्मूला अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, ये लिमिट का फॉर्मूला. So limit as x tends to 0 to 2 is constant, take it outside, but we can write there sin square by x square in the form of common power. So how to write there in the form of common power? Sin x upon x whole square is there. So what does it means? A square by b square is nothing but a by b whole square. This is possible by index law. Right? Index law से आप a लिख सकते हैं. We can write their common index for both. Sin x by x whole square मतलब क्या होगा? Sin square x by x square x upon x square is there. After simplifying, you must get their previous term. Otherwise, it's wrong. Now then, sin 5x. How you arrange their angle to apply their result of limit? ये result आप लोगों को यहाँ पे apply करना. तो x square यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Adjust हुआ है. So the term of x square is adjust here in first. Into here in this case, I will write there in the form 1 upon sin 3x. So what formula you want? Yes, if there is reciprocal, that is limit as x tends to 0 to kx upon, अगर ये sin kx है तो भी आप लोगों को same limit मिलेगा, that is 1 also. If you interchange their functions, you will get their same. तो sin 5x upon 5x चाहिए तो पहले x से डिवाइड और मल्टीप्लाई कर. So what is that next? यहाँ पे 5 चाहिए तो मल्टीप्लाई बाय 5. यहाँ पे क्या चाहिए? 3 चाहिए तो मल्टीप्लाई एंड डिवाइड बाय 3. Yes, and when you are applying the limit as x tends to 0 to their functions individually, तो आप लोगों को लिमिट क्या मिलेगा? देखो इंडिविजुअली अगर आप लिमिट x tends to 0 और फंक्शन के ऊपर अप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो sin x by x as x tends to 0 क्या होगा? 1, एंड 1 स्क्वायर क्या होता है? 1 होता है. मतलब पहले आप लोगों को 2 मिलेगा. ओके, which is that next sin 5x upon 5x as x tends to 0, ये भी क्या मिलेगा? आपको लोगों को 1 मिलेगा. ये 1 मिलेगा. what is there in next? 5 रहेगा. then 3x upon sin 3x as x tends to 0, ये भी लिमिट क्या होता है? 1 होता है. So on their every function we can apply their limit as x tends to 0 when there is product of functions, okay, into 1 by 3. So what is that value? Yes, after simplifying their value will be 10 by 3. Instead of that, if you are applying their L'Hospital rule, there is need of, yes, 4 more attempts of L'Hospital rule to get their finite. आप लोगों को 4 बार या 5 बार यहाँ पे L'Hospital rule अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा, and that job is lengthy. So instead of that, sometimes need to use their standard results which are from their limits. Okay. So here we have seen the number of examples there in limits. Okay. So we'll see the next point in their limit, that is called continuity. So how to define that continuity? So limit is nothing but continuity. So limit to function, their value exists, is nothing but finite value of function. And if it is, yes, continuous means at, here when you apply their limit as x tends to a to their function of x, and suppose it is finite, it means that their function is continuous at x is a. Function is continuous at x is equals to a. So one more is that how you define it graphically. So any function which is continuous if their graph will exist without break or without graph, without gap is without break or without gap. ये देखो ये फंक्शन कंटिन्यूअस होता है. There is no any break in this function. For example, y is function of x, which is from, yes, in their particular interval, it is from a to b. Suppose their interval is from a to b. If there is no any break in this function, it means that it is continuous. That is called continuity. That is called continuity. So function is said to be continuous when their graph of function will exist without any gap or without any break. Suppose there is any break between this interval, function is discontinuous. Discontinuous function कैसे होता है? ऐसे अगर ये लाइन होती है, ये लाइन ब्रेकेबल लाइन होती है, यहाँ पे ब्रेक हो रही, दिस लाइन इज ब्रेक, एट विच पॉइंट this point is there, that is equals to. Will you say their line y is equals to x is continuous? No. There is break at point x is a. Means what? Their line is discontinuous at x is a. Means what? This is break by their point x is a. If there is continuous, means there is no any gap in this graph and their values of functions are getting continuously, it means that it is continuous function. So function is continuous. Okay. So here in continuity, everyone should know the even function and odd function. What is called even function? Even function or odd function? How you define it? Their even function. Even function क्या होता है? Even function. ये even function क्या होता है? Yes, we have to see their definition of even function in two ways. One is theoretically and second is by graphically. दोनों वे से आप एक concept क्या कर सकते हैं, understand कर सकते हैं. Actually, mathematics is combination of two more things, that is called algebra and geometry. If you are doing these two things parallelly, it means that you are enjoying the subject of mathematics. ये concept होते हैं देखो. If you are doing their calculations, if you are doing their calculations only, it's not a mathematics. Along with that, parallelly, everyone should know how you define it graphically or geometrically. So, even function आप कैसे study कर रहे हैं? For example, f of x is equals to cos x. Simple example यहाँ पे मैं ले रहा हूँ. For all x belongs to माइनस पाई बाय टू टू प्लस पाई बाय टू, इसी इंटरवल में ये फंक्शन मुझे क्या करना है, ग्राफिकली डिजाइन करना है. सो यू डिफाइन इट ग्राफिकली. दिस इज कोसाइन सिग्नल और कोसाइन फंक्शन. एवरी फंक्शन इज सिग्नल, नो डाउट. योर फेस रीडिंग इज आल्सो सिग्नल. Okay. So how to get their graphical representation of that cosine function between the limits minus between the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. देखो minus pi by 2, it is on negative x-axis, and plus pi by 2 it is on positive x-axis. Okay. So at x is minus pi by 2, need to take there only 3 more points, not to take the number of points. So minus pi by 2. So cos of minus pi by 2, cos of negative angle, it is cosine angle, that is cos pi by 2, and cos pi by 2 is 0. Matlab this point will be on negative x-axis. Next is that their central value of their interval. Which is that central value of interval? Yes, central value of their interval is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 is 0. So 0 होता है. तो cos 0 की वैल्यू क्या मिलती है 1. दिस इज व्हाट एक्सट्रीम वैल्यू ऑफ देयर कोसाइन फंक्शन here in interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. All right. Now next here to find the value of cos x at x is pi by 2, cos pi by 2 is 0 also. And if we join these three more points by a typical curve, ये typical curve होता है, that is called cosine signal. ये cosine signal या cosine function होता है. If you are on their origin and see their left of that y or f of x axis, how much amount of curve lies to the left of f of x axis is same as that of the right of f of x axis. जितना कर्व लेफ्ट साइड में होता है उतना ही कर्व राइट साइड में हो रहा है. इट मीन्स दैट देयर फंक्शन इज symmetrical to f of x axis, and when it is symmetrical to either x or f of x axis, then function is called even function. Human body is also symmetrical. You know, to the left of, or if you are on their center, which is in place of their our nose, to the left of nose there is our single eye, and to the right of their nose there is also single eye. Okay, single ear, both are, they are symmetrical. Am I right? So human body is also symmetrical, but thoughts are not symmetrical. Okay, so f of x is what? Cos of x. It's a cosine signal, and what is that graphical representation? So their graph of that signal is symmetrical to f of x axis. You know, here how to write there in the form of integration. So from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, how to get their area from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2? F of x dx, where f of x is what? Cosine signal. So how to write there in the form of single integral? You know, area under the curve from minus pi by 2 to 0 is same as that of 0 to pi by 2. जितना area left side में होता है उतना area right side में है. So what is that area? 2 times into area lies to the left of origin or right lies to the right of origin. Alright, एक तो left side में से लेना और right side में लेना. It is from 0 to pi by 2 f of x dx, and this is possible only by using their symmetry. Alright ना, ये आप symmetry से क्या कर सकते हैं, explain कर सकते हैं. Alright ना? Okay. But we have seen here graphical representation of that even function, and what I told you already, mathematics is combination of two more things, that is algebra and geometry. In this case you have studied their geometry. In Marathi भूमिति is there, बराबर है ना? तो algebra मतलब बीजगणित आप कैसे स्टडी करोगे? Yes, here f of x is cos of x, ऐसे हो रहा है. So how to check whether function is even or odd? Replacing x by minus x, तो x की जगह minus x सब्स्टिट्यूट करना दोनों तरफ, तो क्या मिलेगा आप लोगों को? cos of minus x मिलेगा. and cos of minus x क्या होता है? cos x होता है. means you are getting their same function. In that theory, if you are getting f of minus x is function of x is even, and this is what simple way to define whether function is even or odd. ये even होता है या odd होता है या neither even या neither even या nor odd, ये भी आप चेक कर सकते हैं only by theoretically. It means that replacing x by minus x is there. Okay, so f of minus x is function of x. अगर f of minus x is function, for example, you know here f of x is equal to x square है. देखो, replacing x by minus x means what? This also even function. Power is also even, means what? It is even. X raised to 6 हो रहा है, it is also even. Now to take here the product of functions, that is cos of 2x into x raised to 4 is. This is what product of two more functions. Can you check whether it is even or odd? You know, here cos of 2x replacing x by minus x, मतलब यहाँ पे आप लोगों को सेम फंक्शन मिलता है. ये इवन फंक्शन है. x रेज टू 4 ये इवन फंक्शन होता है. तो प्रोडक्ट ऑफ इवन, ये इवन है और इवन है. प्रोडक्ट ऑफ इवन क्या होगा रे? इवन होता है. दिस व्हाट सिंपल आइडिया. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू नो x square x रेज टू 6, दो Yes, these two are even, but what about their product x raised to 8? मतलब even होता है. Product of even is even. Yes, product of even is even. One more function is there that is called odd function. Wait, that is called odd function. ये ऑड फंक्शन लेना. तो ऑड फंक्शन आप लोग कैसे चेक करते हैं? देखो, फॉर एग्जांपल in this case I am taking the function of sine, that is sinusoid signal, sine of x. For all x belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. सेम इंटरवल में यहाँ पे ले रहा हूँ. You have to define it graphically first. And how you define it, that function graphically? Yes. You need to take here 3 more points. Those points you have taken in previous function, same points you can apply. Or you can use here in this place. X and then f of x. अब देखो x is minus pi by 2 ले रहे, cos of sin of minus pi by 2, sin of minus theta is minus sin theta, मतलब आप लोगों को -1 मिलेगा. yes, मतलब minus pi by 2 -1, where is location of that point? तो फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में दोनों कोऑर्डिनेट्स पॉजिटिव होते हैं. सेकंड क्वाड्रेंट में फर्स्ट इज नेगेटिव, सेकंड इज पॉजिटिव. इन थर्ड बोथ आर नेगेटिव. इन लास्ट plus minus is there. First is plus, then second is minus. So in this case, you know, when you substitute there x is minus pi by 2, matlab, yes, x is minus pi by 2, sin of minus pi by 2 is -1, matlab, you will get that point in third quadrant because both are negative. X negative, y is also negative. Now, you know, here in this interval, which is that central value 0. So sin 0 क्या होता है? 0 होता है. So 0 means that curve will pass through origin, and then x is pi by 2, sin pi by 2, 1, means both are positive. Will you join these 3 points by straight line? No, by typical curve. ये curve आप लोगों को typically connect करना है, not by straight line, not by straight line. ऐसे लेंगे आप. It is not by straight line. बेटा, yes, it says sinusoid signal. What are the remaining part? Remaining part ऐसे आप लोगों को मिलेगा. देखो, ये ऐसे remaining part मिलता है. This part will be from, yes, minus pi to plus pi. ऐसे होगा. To come in this case, is that graph symmetrical to x or f of x axis? No. When graph of function is either symmetrical to x or f of x axis, their function is even. But in this case, this graph is not symmetrical to x or f of x axis, but it is symmetrical to origin. Yes, origin के लिए symmetrical होता है. There, how much amount of curve lies in first quadrant, that should be there in second quadrant. If it is, we can say that their function is even. But you know, we have got their curve, or graphical representation of curve will be there in first quadrant or in third quadrant. Will you say there is symmetry? No, this is not a symmetry to x or f of x axis, but it is symmetry to origin. Yes, it means that this curve is not symmetrical. That is called odd function. When graph of function is symmetrical to origin, then function is odd. And this is what graphical representation we have defined it. But one more is that, can you find that area under the curve from minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2? यहाँ पे minus pi by 2 होता है, यहाँ पे plus pi by 2. So how to get it? Yes, that area from minus to plus. देखो, minus to plus is there. F of x dx. So, and what is that area when function of x is sine? So, you know, area under the curve from minus pi by 2 to 0. यहाँ पे जो area होता है वो negative होता है, because it is in third quadrant. And the area under the curve from 0 to pi by 2 in first quadrant, this will be positive. And what is sum of them? Minus plus, it is 0 now. एरिया क्या मिल रहा है आप लोगों को? 0 मिल रहा है. Their graph is yes symmetrical to origin but not symmetrical to x or f of x axis, but in this case their area will be 0. When area is 0, their function is odd. Okay, see here how we define it theoretically, that is by mathematically. Mathematically आप कैसे define कर सकते हैं? देखो, you apply that same replacing x by minus x. So x की जगह आप minus x put up कर रहे हैं तो क्या मिलेगा? देखो f of minus x मतलब sin of minus x मिलेगा. And sin of minus x क्या होता है? Sin of minus theta, it is minus sin theta. That is what? Minus function of x. And f of minus x is minus function of x. Function is odd. Function क्या होता है? Odd होता है. ये क्या होगा? Function even होता है. f of x is even. When f of minus x is function of x. Right? So what are the odd functions? For example, you know, x raised to 3, it is odd. Yes, this is odd. X raised to 5, it is also odd. So these are the examples of odd functions. Okay. You know here, what about the product of odd functions? For example, f of x is the product of two more functions and they are odd. That is x raised to 3 into sine 2x is there. These two are odd functions. When you replace their x by minus x or their power is odd, definitely it is odd. Sine is also odd. Whatever the angles are there, that doesn't matter. Am I right? लेकिन sin odd होता है, x cube odd होता है, तो उनका प्रोडक्ट क्या होगा? Odd into odd. Means odd into odd, it is even. आप लोगों को even मिलेगा. कैसे मिलेगा? देखो, अगर आप यहाँ पे x cube ले रहे हैं, दूसरा odd फंक्शन में यहाँ पे x raised to 5 ले रहे हैं, तो उनका प्रोडक्ट लेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा? X raised to 8. And which is type of that function? Is that odd function? No, x raised to 8. And 8 क्या होता है? Even होता है. It means that it is even function. So product of odd function is even. And once we are studying here the even and odd functions, how to get the product of even and odd function? मुझे even और odd का product चाहिए. For example, you know, even or odd, x square into मैं odd function ले रहा हूँ sin of 4x. ये देखो यहाँ पे x square क्या होता है? even function होता है. Yes, it's right. Even function. Sin 4x क्या होता है? ये odd function. What is product of even and odd? Or even into odd or odd into even? It is odd. ये odd आप लोगों को कैसे मिल रहा है? देखो, दोनों में यहाँ पे दो फंक्शन मैं ले रहा हूँ. सिंपल फंक्शन f of x is odd, अगर x square ले रहा हूँ, दूसरा odd फंक्शन ले रहा हूँ x cube, which is product of them. So the product will be x raised to 5. So x raised to 5 क्या होता है? Odd function होता है, right ना? So sin 4x is odd, x square is even. So x square is even, x cube is odd. So even into odd or odd into even, it is odd. But even into even, it is even. And odd into odd, it is even. So what is that product? You know, f of x and g of x. ये मैं यहाँ पे ले रहा हूँ, type of function. And what is that product? F of x into g of x. So I am making their simple table to get the product of types of functions. Okay. Odd into even. Odd into even, odd is there. Yes. That simple example you have studied. So even into odd, it is also odd. Why it is? Because you know, product is commutative in mathematics. Am I right? So now then even into even. What is that? Even into even? Even is there. And the next, odd into odd. It is even. Okay. So here, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Last 5 minutes are there. So okay, we'll see their examples on their even and odd function in their next lecture. If you have any doubt, you can ask. there in next. Okay. So, but here at this moment, I conclude this lecture. Okay. Okay. Thanks.